where I am at
Yes.
the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm in Los Angeles, and I just came home from a couple of shows in Austria and Germany. So I'm also still a bit jet lagged. So it's a good fit
Well,
for today.
you are going to be bloody jet lagged when you get to Australia. It is a
Oh
long
yeah,
flight. Have you made
yeah.
it before?
No, I've never been there, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh,
Um,
buddy.
I've only
Yeah.
seen the viral videos of all the crazy animals. That's yeah, most of the stuff I've seen so far.
Have you seen the guy punching the kangaroo? Yes.
Definitely, yeah. That's good. And the thing is, I'm originally from Austria, and everyone's always confusing Austria and Australia. So that's my other connection to the
Yeah.
country.
I'm down in a state, the state underneath the island, Tasmania, which is why I'm bloody cold. I'll be seeing you in Brisbane, but yeah, it's freezing down here, and yeah, oh god, very, very, very cold, very, very. I forgot what point I was going to make, but oh yeah, sorry, they confuse us with Tans. Americans will hear Tasmania and think Tanzania.
Oh wow,
Annoying. So,
yeah.
mate, I was just watching a video that had me consumed with jealousy, and that was you performing with Tool. What?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that was
mate.
cool.
I'm sorry. I know this was a few years ago, but I just that video stood out from your channel, and I'm very, very jealous. Hey, talk us through it. What was that like?
At first, I mean, Adam, the guitar player, just contacted me through Instagram, and naturally, first I thought it's a scam
Yeah,
because it was literally just Adam Jones and very short message. Do you want to play with us on the upcoming European tour? But saw the check mark and
yeah.
saw that it was profile, so it was for real. And it turns out he's been watching some of the videos on Instagram and on YouTube, and they had this. I don't know if they still do this. I think I was kind of the guinea pig for that, and then they invited some other people. Sometimes they have, I mean, they have a lot of long songs, of
Mm.
course, but some of them are kind of perfect for a jam session in the middle where they can invite kind of a different musician that does different things. Because there's not a lot of shredding and guitar solos in
Mm.
Tool that much. So he thought that would be fun to try. And I mean, I said yes immediately, of course, but I still didn't really think that it will happen, but it did eventually, and I made a video about it on YouTube, which is pretty fun because it was a little bit chaotic. I almost missed the sound check, and um, overall, it was a really cool experience because they say never meet your heroes, I guess,
Mm.
but they were really very, very nice to me. They even, I have to stand up and get it for you real
Yeah,
quick.
of course, of course.
I got this,
Oh, mate.
and it's a drum skin that was played at the
Yeah.
show, and it says to Bernth, thank you for jamming with us,
Oh,
and
mate.
got like all the signatures, and Adam was drawing this at the night of the show.
Oh, that
So
is so sweet, mate.
really cool experience. So it
Oh,
was
mate. I love
it
it.
was not it didn't feel like, yeah, here's this random guy and we give you a platform. It was more like felt like I was in the band for a day because I was also in the same backstage room with Adam, and I had catering with the guys, and it really felt like you're just part of the band for a day and then you leave the
Yeah.
production again. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
not
cool.
just some, not the Make a Wish kid or the so
Yes,
that's awesome, man. Oh, I'm tearing up. That's awesome. Very, hey,
it's really cool.
it blew my mind too because my favorite film of all time is Terminator 2. It blew my mind
Oh,
when I found out that Adam Jones used to work for Stan Winston and did a
yes,
lot of those effects.
exactly. Yeah, he had a really interesting career, and he's I think I don't know if he's still very involved with the music videos. I do think so,
Mm.
but he's still doing a lot of that creative stuff. And he also invited me to his house. I think it was last year, and we talked a little bit about it because we like some similar artists. Like H.R. Giger is one of my favorite artists, and he also likes that stuff. So I think he's very much still into the visual stuff. But at one point, he kind of had to decide: do I want to do this or music? And he went all in on the music, and I think that paid off for sure.
Are you so you're an Aliens fan?
Yeah, I mean, I have this right here, which is the H.R. Giger Ibanez guitar.
Nice. Oh, well, now I don't even want to show you mine. Mine's not that impressive.
Yeah,
but I have
this one kind of special. Oh, nice.
The bottom of my metal jacket, I have Weyland-Yutani and then the Nakatomi.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, those movies are great. They're really great.
Oh, bless. So, mate, you're coming down here with Charles. So, what was the genesis of this tour?
It's kind of started, I think, 2 or 3 years ago because I found that Charles is kind of the best bass player ever on YouTube. And I was watching his stuff. So the logical thing for me was to challenge him to a battle. And we never like exchanged messages, or I'm pretty sure he didn't even know about my existence. But it's the first time I ever tried this, and I haven't done it again, where I just post a video on public on YouTube, just quote unquote calling someone out, where it was playful. Of course, I wasn't insulting him. It was just like, I challenge you to a battle, and you have, I don't know how many days to respond or something. And people kept bothering him, I guess. They were like, hey, this guy, you have to battle this guy. So he decided to get back to me, and we recorded our first video together. And we were not really thinking about forming a band or going on tour or making more music. It was just one video at the start. But we connected very quickly because I'm sure you know a lot of musicians. The thing is with creative people that a lot of them are not that easy to work with. So they don't show up to appointments. When you need some files, like guitar solos or whatever, when you're working on something, they don't respond for a week and so on. And for us, we kind of both noticed that we respond immediately, that we work on schedule all the time. And we were both surprised because that's the first time, I guess, for both of us where it was so easy to work together, where you feel like, oh, okay, you also take it that seriously. So we just started making the next video and the next song. And also met for our very first show around 1.5 years ago, where we played on Reunion Island. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It's a very, very small island close to Madagascar. We played our first shows there together. And the short story is that I really wanted to go on tour with the music that I create on YouTube, because I feel like people that watch a video might also show up to a show. That was my idea, and that worked out. So he was the perfect choice to do that. And we're calling it Escape the Internet, because that's really what it is. We love making videos, but if you're only in your home studio and you make video after video after video, you do feel like you should leave that place at one point.
You're a YouTuber, not a musician. It feels like you're a YouTuber, not a musician.
Exactly. Yeah. So Escape the Internet became the thing, and we just tried it in Europe, and the tour went extremely well. Sales-wise, we had a lot of sold-out shows and a lot of fun. And now, like a couple of months later, we are now playing China, South Korea, and then Australia. And the next European tour is already kind of booked for next year. We have some stuff in the works in the United States. So it kind of became its own thing without planning it from day one. Like, hey, Charles, let's form a band, let's go on tour, let's do this. It just kind of happened, which is nice.
Nice.
I like that.
Are you familiar with an Australian guitar YouTuber called Kean Houshman?
I might have. The name doesn't ring a bell, but
excellent gent guitarist. Yeah, does like a did a gent cover of Michael Jackson's "Beat It" and everything.
Oh,
Yeah, he's fantastic. I'll have to send you the link.
I think I might have seen him on Instagram, on YouTube. I'm not too sure. I know a band called Psychroptic. I think they're from Australia.
Psychroptic are yes, they are one of our premier death metal exports. Yes.
Yeah. I bought their CD in 2007 or 8 or something like this.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed. That was really cool.
I still have scars under my arm from seeing them live.
Oh no.
How did you guys hook up with the OMNIFIC for this?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. How did this work?
That's a contact that came from Charles, because he's, I would dare to say, very well known amongst bass players. And that's kind of one of the unique thing about the OMNIFIC, that there's such a big focus on bass. And I think he didn't do one full show with them to my knowledge, but I think he played one song live with them when they came to the US. And I haven't met them so far, but Charles said they're also very, very professional, amazing musicians. And since we're coming to Australia, it's kind of a no-brainer to do something with them. And in fact, today, right now, before I went on this call, I finished a first arrangement for a song that we're doing together, because we thought that would be a very cool thing for every single Escape the Internet tour when we're going somewhere, to actually make a new song with this whole package kind of exclusively.
Yes. Yes.
So that will be hopefully out in the next couple of weeks or months. We don't have that much time left anymore, so hopefully sooner than later.
Nice. Oh, that sounds amazing, mate. So, lastly, I have this bit of a silly tradition where I will get two artists. I'll interview them both. Yeah, so artists that know each other quite well, or at least know, and say, I'll pit them together and say, hey, who would you beat the other person in an arm wrestle or something? And it usually gets them to just talk shit about the people that they were, about their mates. I have to ask, Bernth, who would win in an arm wrestle between you and Charles? Who's got the guns? Who's got the muscles?
That's a good question. I mean, in my case, I might look maybe more intimidating because Charles doesn't have any tattoos and he dresses better than I do. So I got the visual advantage, but I think Charles actually works out for real and I don't do that. So I think maybe if I give him a really evil stare or something, I don't know. I think Charles would do that. He goes for, whenever he's coming to LA, with staying with me, is always on a run, and I think he goes to the gym on a regular basis. So I would have to start doing that work before challenging him to an arm wrestling.
I had a laugh once because I went to a prog metal festival and I noticed that I quite like weightlifting and I'm a 6'7". I'm a big dude, and I remember looking around and a prog musicians aren't known for being generally big dudes. And then I saw Animals as Leaders one night and Tosin walks out and I'm like, damn, Tosin.
It's crazy if you look at pictures from him 10 years ago or something, and now he grew this. It's pretty crazy. Yeah? He's in a great shape.
Mate, this is we're on a tight schedule, so I'm going to let you go. This has been great. Thank you very much for your time. I will be speaking to Charles literally in a few minutes, so I'll say hi. And mate, enjoy Australia.
Perfect. Thank you so much. See you soon.
I was just talking to your mate, Bernth, and he was saying that one of the things he appreciates is your punctuality, which is very suitable considering you came on to the second.
Nice. Yeah, I think Bernth's the same way too. So we both appreciate that.
Well, I do as well, because I spent 11 years in the military and actually did music journalism for 5 years while I was doing it. And if we're on time, so if you're early, you're in the army. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're fucked. So that's how I. So you can imagine.
Nice.
Punctuality is very important to me. And when I'm dealing with musicians who often don't get out of bed until 10 in the morning, it's like. So.
Yeah, honestly, my experience with musicians, other than Bernth and maybe a few others, is expect them to be at least 20 minutes late most of the time.
It's musician time. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on their own time zone.
So I thought, Charles, I thought I'd start off with a two-part question, and I think you're going to appreciate the wording of it. Who are the best bass players in the world who aren't Les Claypool?
Well, for me, it's obviously subjective, but for me, Victor Wooten, Marcus Miller, I would say Jaco Pastorius. I'm assuming I'm allowed to say
Oh,
dead people as well.
you can, of course, answer this however you want.
Those would probably be my main three. I mean, in terms of like more regular baseline playing, maybe James Jameson. Yeah, but obviously very subjective.
Mm. Now, second part of that question, who are the best bass players in the world who are Les Claypool?
I mean, there's no one who can be Les Claypool. It's he's a very unique guy, definitely. He's got his own thing. No, I haven't met him actually. Yeah, I haven't actually met anyone who's met him other than I think Victor, who I was just interviewing the other day. I think he met Les, but I didn't really ask him too much about him. But no, I would like to meet him sometime though. He seems like a pretty eccentric person.
So, mate, as I said, I've literally just interviewed Bernth, and I'm just going to ask you basically the same set of questions, and we're just going to cut back and forth between it. So, what was the genesis of this tour? How did this come about?
Well, it all started actually when Bernth challenged me to a musical battle. And the reason he did that is because he had released a video previously where he was playing his guitar with like a octave down effect, which made it sound like a bass. And everyone commented on his video saying like, oh, you've got to do something with Charles Berthoud. And he was like, okay, I'll challenge him to a battle for some reason. He didn't default to a collab. He defaulted to a battle, which maybe gives you an insight into his personality. But anyway, so I accepted the battle. I really liked his playing, and we did that online. We just sent the track back and forth, and then made our parts, and then filmed it. And once that was out, it got a pretty good response, and we decided to do more collabs, all just online though. Mm-hmm. And then we decided, how about we actually do this in real life for a change? And our first ever show was on Reunion Island, which I had never heard of, actually. I got an email from them asking if I wanted to play there. And I actually thought it might be a scam at first. I thought it might be like Fire Festival or something like that, But I looked it up, and Reunion Island is a real place. It's a French island by Madagascar with 800,000 people. I was like, wow, never heard of this. We went there, we played, and it went really well. I thought it was going to be these tiny little warm-up shows, but our first show was a sold-out amphitheater with 1,000 people. So it was a little higher stakes than I initially thought it was going to be. But it went great, and then we thought, why not make a whole tour out of this? And that's basically how the Escape the Internet tour started.
Nice. Now, you guys will be bringing out the OMNIFIC for this. How did this come about?
So, yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm trying to remember how I first started my relationship with the OMNIFIC. I think it started when they were playing in Boston, and they knew that I'm based in Boston. And they just asked me to do a guest solo during their show. So I did that, it's right down the street. I just went and played and did a solo on one of their songs, and people loved it. The audience loved it. And I think they enjoyed it, the OMNIFIC too. And after that, we decided to do a collab, more like what I was doing with Bernth, like an online thing. And that also got a good response. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, really. We decided that I think they decided 2 basses is not enough. so they wanted to add a third bass player in there. And as soon as I heard that we're playing in Australia, my mind just immediately jumped to the OMNIFIC, and I thought, wouldn't it be hilarious if we did another show where there's 3 basses and a drummer? Not that it's going to be the whole show. I don't want to scare anyone off. But there will be a couple of moments where it'll be all 3 basses and drums on stage at the same time.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
I have this thing where if I know I'm interviewing 2 people who I know are going to be playing together, I have this silly question where I'll ask them like who'll beat each other in a fight or an arm wrestle or something, and then I cut the answers together so that when they get into the same room, they're like, "Oi!" So, in the spirit of that, who would win in an arm wrestle between you and Bernth?
I mean, I think I would win, but if he ended up winning, it would only be because I'm being a gentleman. And I don't, guitarists, they've got a bit of an ego. So I wouldn't want to damage his ego,
And his squiz guard will turn into Murderface very, very quickly. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because he agrees with you. He reckons you'd beat him. I asked him, and he's like, he goes to the gym. I don't.
Yeah, that probably gives me an advantage. Yeah,
this is true. Yes. Mate, looking over your career as a YouTuber, like, what do you think you have done well, and what do you think you wish you had done earlier?
Well, I think recently, over the last 5 years or so, I've done pretty well with creating videos that people are going to click on. But beyond that, giving them a reason to keep watching after they've clicked, because that's not everyone has both of those things. They might get you to click on it, but it's just clickbait, and then you don't care about the video and you click off. I've always tried to have clickable videos, but also good music to back it up. And I think I've done that pretty well. What would I do better or earlier? I think I would have done more collabs earlier on. I think I would have found people like Bernth earlier, because it's great playing with them now, obviously. But I wish that I had like a larger back catalogue of music with musicians who I really enjoy playing with. Like, I wish I'd been playing with Bernth 10 years ago and we had 3 albums out.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the thing I most wish I had done.
Yeah, fair. So I just noticed, so you've got a light off to your right side, right?
Yeah,
now,
I do.
Have you put on sunscreen?
No. No. I've got blackout curtains here. Kind of a vampire. Yeah.
I'm married to a ginger. I'm allowed to say it.
Being a ginger in Australia, I imagine, is tough.
Ooh,
yeah.
Challenging, mate. Yeah, like if you're going to be a ginger, you want to be a ginger in like Britain or Ireland or somewhere like that. Australia is.
Yeah. But you got good sunscreen there. I swear all the best sunscreen comes from Australia.
Yeah, it's fair, but I would also I'd recommend to get yourself a big floppy hat from.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to enjoy. Have you been to Australia before?
I have a long time ago. Just went on like a family holiday there. I think at least 10 years ago. I really liked it though. It's nice weather. We did a bit of. I tried to surf. I don't think it went particularly well. Stuck more to the boogie boarding. I tried surfing a little bit too. Yeah,
awesome. Mate,
but I never played in Australia. This will be my first time.
Yeah, nice, mate. All right, thank you very much for your time. I'm really excited about the tour, and I hope you and Bernth have an amazing time, mate. So
cool. Thanks so much.
No worries.
Great chatting with you.